The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
All right, it's Friday, the 18th day of February.
February.
The 18th day of March, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderbilt. He's Larry Marshall Jr. And Liana Lambert, will be with you in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Look, it's Friday. Larry and Sherry together, folks. This is not normal. Look, I'm not going to instigate. I'm going to play referee. How's that?
No. You're a stirrer from the beginning. You stir things, but that's all right, Larry. We came here, we're gonna play nice. We're gonna start out nice.
It rattled him because he can't even get the month of the year correct. Like, come on, sort it out.
Yeah,
sort it out. It's Friday.
Yeah. It's no, it's what
and
it
it's
is.
March.
What it is, let's move on. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today is Rusty G is in the house, so I'm looking forward to this conversation. The daily plate is, well, Sherry's going to try to stump me, and last week I went 0 for 3. This week I'll get back up to the hundreds, but we've got a good conversation coming today, Larry. Obviously you in here because although I may look like a track athlete, I may look like this athletic person, and you all think that I can go out and perform and gold medal this, gold medal that. I'm not much of a track athlete. What?
Well, these days I'm not even looking like a track athlete anymore, so I'll let you take
I was never a tra, okay, from primary school. Never even a tra.
But why are you laughing at me?
Because I can, because I'm not in that space. I can.
Okay. Well, no, I think they just made.
I mean, you race the rabbits in the morning and stuff like that. Y'all, good long see.
Wildlife.
You do.
Wildlife, yeah.
He does the most.
You try racing a cheetah. Anyway, I don't know if they have cheetahs in Florida. Don't mind me. But big announcement by the Bermuda Tourism Authority yesterday. And I don't particularly I'll just go to the announcement. So it looks like USATF, which I think is United States of America's track and field Bermuda Games, is going to be held on April 9th, 2022. About 15 events, 140 athletes, 20 countries. And I was like, yesterday when it was announced, I'm like, this is major. Why do I think it's major? Not because I know much about track and field. Like, I love sports. For those of you who know me, I love sports. I am probably the best spectator in sports. I'm that person in the crowd making noise I don't have to be for either team, but I'm choosing one, usually the one with less fans where people want to beat me up in the crowd. I'm fine with that. I'm okay being the underdog. But all that aside, this is so huge for Bermuda because we've been dealing with a pandemic over the last 2 years at this point, right? We've been dealing with a pandemic. People have been screaming for tourism. We've been screaming for events. Bermudians have a tendency to say there's nothing to do in Bermuda. Folks, I can't confirm this, but I'm not quite sure this event usually takes place outside the United States. So first off, props and congratulations to all those who actually got the event to Bermuda. Now, Bermuda, if you want to, all those things we complain about nothing to do in Bermuda, tourism going down the drain and this and that, this is your time to show up, right? This is going to be on NBC. This is your time to show up and do your part and say events like this belong in Bermuda because they benefit Bermudians, right? They keep Bermudians employed.
Yes.
We talk about that. But Larry, from a sporting perspective, like how big is this event?
This event is huge. As you said, it's a USATF track and field event, a gold level event. I don't think people can appreciate the caliber of the event, and we'll have top athletes. We've had top athletes before. We've had the area permit meet, and of course the Carifta Games, which is a junior regional meet, which paves the way for the stars. But we have current Olympic medalists, top three in the world coming that are already confirmed. So I think when we talk about a level of quality, this is the type of event that people travel to pay. If you go to a I wouldn't call it a diamond league meet, but these are the type of things that people say, you know what, I want to go here. They plan their season around. I want to go to these types of events to see top quality track and field taking place.
Larry, let me just jump in there. You've mentioned diamond, gold, and for the person like myself, what does that mean for track and field? So if we had a bronze, it wouldn't be.
It's just a packing order, if you want to say.
Okay.
Obviously, you have the World Championships, Olympics, and national qualifiers. That's all to go to that. But track and field has a very complicated ranking system that athletes can get points for different meets. And the Diamond League is the highest, and the gold is probably the next under, you know what I mean, depending on where you are and what time, the time of year it is. But athletes will be able to get points. As Jamal said, it's televised on NBC. Folks, NBC does not travel for track and field to just any ordinary meet. So this is huge. This is, we have the cream of the crop already confirmed, and through the grapevine, I heard we may be getting some from that country that likes to wear green and
Jamaica.
black.
No. That's gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask. I was like, the only thing that can make this event even better is if we get some of the Jamaican runners. But the question was, because it's USATF, and I know that we have our local jump champion, Janai Parent-Chief, who I believe will be on this show next week, right?
Yeah.
I believe he's supposed to be participating. So I figured
he is participating. The event actually starts in about 3 minutes.
But we don't have rights to show you live, folks. I'm sorry.
Well, I just wanted you to highlight that so people who aren't in the track and field space understand the magnitude, and just not from Jamal saying, this is really big. If people understand kind of the rankings and what it will mean for Bermuda is very important to know.
Yeah, I don't know enough about those rankings. I weren't saying it's big because of that. I was saying it's big for Bermuda tourism from a different perspective. So it wasn't
to put it in context. About last year, Janai Parent-Chief was the ranking system was so complicated that he wasn't able to get to the ranking because he didn't have enough ranking points, pretty much. And this type of event will allow for athletes to gather points if they do well to kind of go and make things happen like that.
Yeah. Question of the morning, folks. Just so I know you all are pretty happy about this event, but basically, how do you feel about the Bermuda Tourism Authority's announcement yesterday regarding the United States of America track and field event, Bermuda Games, taking place April 9th? How do you feel about it? Because, and I think this is such an important conversation because we have, let's just be honest, whenever you see Bermudians talking about tourism, it's 95% complaint about marketing because they're all experts at tourism marketing, or hotel, whatever. Like they're all experts at tourism, right? And I want to see that same energy for them to understand what this means. Like, this is to have a major event. We heard a lot of noise about the sailboat race, which to some was very helpful for Bermuda. Great TV coverage, and got a certain level of people to Bermuda in terms of their financial rank. I think this deserves the same level of attention and respect, because this is, again, I correct me if I'm wrong, someone in the audience, but this is an event that's not normally held outside the United States. This is huge that they are trusting. They are trusting Bermuda. They're trusting all of you, all of us, to put on a damn show, to go on national televised TV in the United States, fill that place up. And guess what happens, folks? Guess what happens? Guess what happens? Remember the America's Cup? They picked the venue based on who the winner was, right? So in Bermuda's case, they were banking on the U.S. team, right, to win it so they can try to get them to host it again in Bermuda. Guess what? This is dependent on Bermudians. If Bermudians show up, if Bermudians show out, guess what? When the pandemic's long gone, they're saying, yeah, we want to come back again. And maybe again. And maybe again. Let's get out. Let's support this. This is about you all.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely the goal. You want to be able to say, hey, 10 years time, this event is fully going. Athletes are saying, you know what? I want to open up my season in Bermuda. It's a quality track meet. And that's how things go. Because, you know, it could be where sprinters or throwers come. Distance runners like to go out west to try and get in a fast meet to open up to get standards. Bermuda can be a place where, you know what, that we say, you know what, hey, this is where I run fast at this time. Coaches can plan. It's just a tremendous opportunity for people to come. Eventually, if this event keeps going, we will get visitors to come also. So we need to get those hotel rooms filled. It's just a win-win situation for Bermuda overall.
You know what I like about this? What I really like about it is the amount of people that participated. And I know in the question it says Bermuda Tourism Authority, but you need all stakeholders to participate. And I don't is it the BNAA? BNA?
Yes, and it is a USATF sanctioned event, but the BNNA with President Freddie Evans and his board and everyone, all the Bermuda organizers, the volunteers will do everything that in their power to help support the Tourism Authority and the USATF just to make sure that this event is huge. No one knows Bermuda like Bermudians, so you know, we definitely have a place at the table to give our input, to say how things go. You know, I think it's brewing for nothing but success. We just need to pray for the weather.
That was another question. Let's go to the audience real fast, but I wanted to speak because we know that I guess the shorter season in Bermuda is pretty much November through April, right? Some people say October through March, November through April. That's pretty much the shorter season. But Bermuda's April weather can be really hit or miss. And I'm not an expert at running and winds and so on. I mean, I didn't even really learn about how impactful the winds were until last summer when they were doing the qualifying races. But how about the winds in Bermuda? How can they impact it? But let's go to the audience first and then talk about that. We've got Bermuda Girl says, that's great news. It's a phenomenal accomplishment. Tamara Richardson said, got my tickets. Well, you know what? The amount of people that WhatsApped me last night saying got my tickets made me so happy because they're outside of the announcement. There was really no promotion. So it made me happy because I think people understand the responsibility they have to ensure this works.
And then it's funny that you said that, Jamal, because I was going to ask, promotion wise, it feels like we're just a month out or less than that. Is that normal in this setting, or should we have gotten some more time with that?
I don't know the ins and outs on how things came, but it wasn't the normal time frame of how you set up a meeting going forward. I think it was like, hey, this can possibly happen. Let's grab at this and let's make it happen. And credit to the Tourism Authority in conjunction with the BNNA, all stakeholders, because they made it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome. Let's get back to your comments. I just want to get through audience comments. Just hold you guys real quickly. James Burt says, this is fantastic. A fantastic get for Bermuda. Let's show them who we are. And James is hotelier, if he doesn't mind me saying that. He's in that space. So he definitely understands the importance of an event like this. Sam Cat, please, for you, Sherry.
I think it's a great event to come, and I believe the young and ill will love to see it happening here. If Jamal keeps drinking his growth juice, he can run the 100-meter local celebrity race. I'm trying to hold this.
We got a spot for you, Hartman.
Hold on. First off, I'm gonna just let that one roll. First off, my growth juice will help me get that high jump record. All right, don't worry about that.
Oh God.
Mia Bean says, I'm gonna let that one slide, Sam, because I love you. Mia Bean says, yes, no, that's exactly it. A lot of work behind the scenes, but Bermuda can be the reason it happens again. And That's it. That's it. Tanya Cheeseman for you, Larry.
It shows what we can accomplish when we all work together. Great work and look forward to a great event.
Yep. Nicole Walker says, online buying my ticks now. This is what I love. This is what I
Yes.
love. And Renee Simmons, she says, USATF is big. This is something that can not only inject revenue, it's an opportunity to host possibly for a repeat if it proves a positive event, but also
Awesome.
not
And I
just
think that's the goal.
not just
Yeah.
an encore by them, but this can also lead to other major sporting events that maybe are not track and field, maybe that are if Bermuda shows out in this, there may be people watching NBC saying, man, we should try to have our next event in Bermuda, be it collegiate level, be it international, right? I just think when we have opportunities like this, we need to be as hard and vocal about these as we are politics.
Yeah, I agree.
I
And
agree.
when an event is huge, and I won't name them because I don't want to get scolded by Jamal after the show, but look at the list of international sponsors that are on board for this event.
Yeah.
And that will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like, oh, is this some of these people would look to have spots for the Super Bowl. That's how big these sponsors are.
Wow. Okay. You're schooling me today, Larry. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay.
Larry.
Larry. Michelle White says, as Larry said, the opportunity for many stakeholders to benefit is out of this world. We have to step up. Bermuda, let me ask you a question, right? How do you feel about this? Do you believe that you have a role to play? And the reason I think this question is important is I remember the controversy with the America's Cup. I remember the things that were said. People felt the event was not for them. It was not inclusive. They couldn't participate. They couldn't do this and that. Like, I just remember Bermudians felt excluded. How do you feel about this? Do you see opportunities for growth? Like for me, I'm seeing not only, the celebs coming and I'm saying celebs, I mean the athletes, right? Not only the athletes coming, but one of the things that really makes me happy about this is, unlike the America's Cup, and this is not a dig at the America's Cup, again, for what it was worth, there were people who benefited from it. What I'm saying is there's a Bermudian participating in this. To me, that adds the value for us to say, let's get out there and support. Let's get behind it. We have no excuse for this not to work. Go ahead, Sherry.
No, I was going to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say that school's out during that week, possibly. So that would be, very awesome. It is definitely something that children need to be a part of and be able to see, because this is something that they can do as well, so.
And to add to that, it's on the Saturday morning. There's a run, jump, and throw kids training camp that they're putting on that is put on for most of the events of this caliber. So top quality coaches that are coming down will be able to give training clinics, and again, that only benefits us.
I've got an idea. I wonder if they'll go for it. Larry can participate. All Daily Hour crew, we have a beanbag race on the field, on the track, new track, beanbag race, and you can participate. We could get Phil. We could get Sherry, Leanna.
I'll get injured probably. So even if I did, I'm just.
How about it? Winner takes all.
What?
Beanbag race.
So yes, they're suggesting this. Excluding me. That means you think you'll win.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're not playing. You're excluded. Sherry obviously doesn't want to do it. Leanna's probably running scared. She's chicken too. So all that talk about growth juice, but no, all seriousness, folks, I love this. I do. I love this for Bermuda. I really do love this for Bermuda. I think what Carol Griffiths said, this is all very positive. Great news, go Bermuda. And let's be honest, Bermuda, we need good news. We need positive. We need events like this to give us that hope that we're looking for all the entrepreneurs that are
taxi drivers.
Yes,
we need this little bit of injection into Bermuda, and it's just a wonderful thing to see, and it's something that I really love, track and field, so I'm benefiting all around.
Yeah, indeed.
I have
Let's
my
go
tickets already too.
to the comments. Mia Bean, she says this will be on NBC. Huge. We need to fill that stadium, circa Carifta 2012. Let's fill that stadium. Another one. Shayna Smith says, I'm booking for me and my whole family. There
You
we
go,
go.
Shanna.
Canada got a big family too, folks say. They probably, hey, look, see, if National Stadium has suites, they probably have a suite up in there. I'll criticize National Stadium another day. Let's leave that alone, Jamal. Don't do that. Michelle White says, yes, every event cannot support everyone. As with America's Cup, there are businesses that may not benefit directly, but they can at least support to make it successful. Folks, we have something to be proud of. Props to all Bermuda Tourism Authority, BNAA. That's it?
Yeah, got me confused.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
BNNA.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Jamal does that sometimes, Larry.
Yeah,
He does
yeah.
that.
Thank God I learned how to spell my name at an early age. But anyway, this is huge. We're going to continue talking about this. Hopefully we could get some people who are experts like that brought it down onto the show so that we can speak to them. Like I said, we have Janai Parent Chief coming on, I believe, next week. So we can be his hype man right up until then. And we'll probably get his results for today's event has taken place on too. But we're going to head out. We've got Rusty G in the background joining us. It's going to hype us up. One is going to play a little tune for us. Hey, look. It's BNAA. I got it right. See, BNAA. Yes, I got it right. See, I got it. Thank you, Mia Bean. So, Larry, thank you. And we'll see you next week with Janai.
All right, guys. Good stuff.
Bye, Larry.
All right. Larry Marshall Jr. there filling us in. Let's bring Leanna in. No, Lee, she used to be a runner, you know. She is, hey, look.
Really?
She was getting with Philadelphia and them. Yeah. Man, Lee chose us over Florida in the Olympics. That's all. You know what I'm saying? She chose us. So let's bring Lee in and see how she's doing this morning. Good morning, Lee. How you doing?
Good morning. I love how you did that because I was like, I will take you in a beanbag race, okay? But I like how you gave me my props before you bring me in.
Lee. You're a runner?
I used to be a runner. Yep, I used to do triathlons. He is hyping it up. Even like I used to love triathlons, and I was in Tri-Heads group when Flora Duffy was a part of it as well. Obviously, I chose a different route, and I'm glad I did. More props to her. But yeah, I love running. I still run to this day. Yeah.
So Lee, are you gonna go to the event?
I will definitely be there, not in an athlete capacity. I will be there on the ground, though, helping out with concessions and whatnot.
All right, so I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up with my beanbag. If none of you show up, I win by default. All right, cool.
Oh my gosh.
Michelle White, real quickly, she's asking where to order tickets. So I think you order tickets at BermudaGames2022.com. So BermudaGames2022.com. That is the website I believe you order tickets from. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And
I believe, or you are able to purchase tickets on bdatix.bm. I will confirm that for you, but I believe that is also a website you could purchase tickets at.
All righty, folks, get those tickets. Looks like Janai Bean is participating right now. So keep us updated. Let us know how it's doing. Lee, it's news time. Over to you.
Let's go. Thanks, Jamal, Larry, and Sherry, and TGIF to everyone that's tuned in with us today. I hope everyone is having a great start to this rainy Friday, which is the last day of the traditional work week. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. In today's top stories, police received reports of gunshots in the Deepdale, Pembroke area last evening. Now, according to a police spokesperson, the incident happened around 7:30 p.m. Callers are said to have dialed the 911 emergency number, indicating that two males on a dark-colored motorcycle rode in a southerly direction up one-way Deepdale and fired a single shot. Now, the rider was reportedly wearing a black jacket. The passenger was described as a heavy-set male wearing gray track pants with a black jacket. Now, there were no injuries reported. Investigations into the incident have started, and anyone with information is asked to call the 211 number, the police telephone number at 295-0011, or the Independent and Confidential Crime Stoppers hotline on 800-8477. People can also speak with a police officer whom you are familiar with. In other news, an elderly man suffered serious injuries after a fire in an apartment block yesterday. Now, firefighters rescued the man from the burning building after they were alerted to the fire in a first-floor apartment at 1 Devon Spring Lane in Devonshire at about 5:30 p.m. Scott Quinn, the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service staff officer, said that firefighters were wearing breathing gear, went into the building to find the man, believed to be in his late 80s, and bring him to safety. Now, he was transferred to hospital while firefighters were able to quickly extinguish the blaze. The incident is currently under investigation. And COVID cases are moving in the wrong direction. This coming from Minister of Health Kim Wilson after she revealed yet another COVID-related death, bringing the island's death toll to 126. Now, Ms. Wilson warned that coronavirus infections were outpacing recoveries as the number of active cases hit 271. There are 6 people in hospital, although none are in intensive care. Now, Ms. Wilson added that she was very concerned about the increases in positive cases, especially in young people, with people aged 20 and under being what she described as the main drivers behind the higher number of active cases. Ms. Wilson also announced changes to the health regulations, which was agreed by Cabinet this week, which will be ineffective from the end of this month. Now, mask wearing will become mandatory indoors in healthcare and institutional settings, as well as on public transport, including taxis and minibuses. Public health regulations scheduled were to end on Saturday and have been extended by Cabinet until April 30th, and the public health emergency has been extended 60 more days until May 29th. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 75 and a low near 66 degrees. Though cloud cover may thin at times to give some sunny breaks this morning, it will thicken once more as isolated showers develop with the approach of a weakening cold front that drags over us this afternoon and evening. Now, fair weather returns for the weekend with easing winds and mild temperatures as high pressure builds into the area. That's all for our daily hour news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Lee. What you got for Days of the Year, Sherry?
Well, today is Global Recycling Day, and this is for us to encourage people to look at your trash in a new light. There are several ways to recycle that allow some materials to be reused multiple times. Recycling is great for us, the environment. It lessens the energy we use, enhances the quality of water and air we breathe, and combats climate change. Come on, Jamal, be one with the earth. Do you recycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I do. Simple. Like, I don't put glass or plastics in trash boxes and stuff. Yeah. You guys don't recycle?
I try. I'm not gonna lie. I try.
No, because there was such silence. I'm like, am I making you all feel guilty?
Sherry's like, no, I don't. I hate to be that person that is killing the earth, but she doesn't.
Sherry,
I was hoping for some company.
I'm sorry. I said I try. Like, I will separate the glass and the plastic, and then at the end of the day, I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered. This is terrible. I apologize to the earth and all of our environmentalists out there.
You mean for once, like, I'm the good cop here? Like, can we have some?
Enjoy it, because it's the
we're
only
running out of
one
time,
you're gonna
Jamal.
get.
We're running out of time. Lee, thank you so much, Lee. You have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
You guys have a great one too. See you Monday.
All right, get that recycling on, Pa, girl. Let's go take a quick break. We'll be right back with the non-recycler and DJ Rusty G. Stick with us.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
Most of us identify pasta with the joys of Italian food, the most popular cuisine on the planet. After all, pasta is the staple food of Italy, where hundreds of varieties are enjoyed daily. While traveling in the Far East, the founder of the Explore Cuisine company was surprised and impressed by the variety of exotic pastas he found, sampled, and enjoyed there, and resolved to bring this knowledge back to enrich the cuisine of the West. This month, we're featuring delicious Explore Cuisine organic mung bean fettuccine and black bean spaghetti. Lindo, why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field. Number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, let's bring in DJ Rusty G, producer, entertainer. He does it all, folks. Good morning, sir. Welcome back.
Morning.
Rusty.
You know, we're going to start calling you our resident DJ. I mean, I know that costs, but you know, it's you're the man. You know, you're the one we turn to when we've got things happening. But let's get right to it, because you know, Leanna and Sherry, they don't recycle, so they cost us a bit of time this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Do you recycle
on Friday morning?
Do you recycle, Rusty?
Why are you putting them on the spot later?
It's a complicated answer to that question.
He recycles music. He recycles music. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. See, Rusty, you know who's on your side and who's not on your side already. But
yeah. I can tell. But thanks for having me back, though.
No, seriously.
You know, I appreciate you guys. You guys are doing really well, man. I see you got more commercials now. So I mean, hey, something's up, right?
Yeah, they like us a bit, I guess. You know, my big mouth not getting us in enough trouble. So I appreciate Sherry keeping me in check every now and then. But look, let's get to you, a DJ, entertainer, producer. How are you feeling about things opening back up, man?
Man, I'm being positive, being very positive. The fingers are crossed, everything is crossed. You know, is the schedule is filling up. And it seems like we might actually get a solid year this year. It looks like it. I don't want to put no jinx, no curse, nothing on anybody, but you know, it's looking like we're going to be moving past where we've been the last 2 years and be able to make some things really happen again. Hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's most of us. We're all hopeful. And keep in mind, I mean, if you follow DJ Rusty G on social media, he has been very creative in how he's been able to do things throughout the shutdowns and pandemic. But speak to people about the difficulty in doing those things versus when everything's open.
I mean, the biggest challenge is just planning. Is you know, from a lot of behind the scenes work goes into events in general that people may or may not know. And you know, if you're putting on a solid event, like a real event, it takes months of planning. So when you get announcements that, you know, say that restrictions are supposed to lift on April 1st and then they get pushed to April 30th, it's like, you know, that can literally destroy 4, 5, 6 months of planning, depending on how big you're trying to do it. You know, so that's the biggest challenge, I think, for at least for myself, for venue owners, for, you know, people that are trying to put on big events or just even planning dope events. It doesn't have to be a big event to necessarily require that amount of planning. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest challenge, and I hope that, you know, if they can ease that up, then we can really make some things happen.
Indeed. You know, I believe this was your response, so correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this was your response to what happened with Carnival weekend. You know, I just had to go there. Quote, this was a tweet, quote, Most people who work in the industry saw this change coming. For me, it has always been about pushing us forward as Bermudians. I will keep my part in building Bermuda's carnival culture and soca scene. It's finally time to hit the streets again. Now, end quote. How do you believe this split will impact Carnival weekend going forward for Bermuda?
That's a tough question, man. I mean, honestly, I have no idea what's really gonna happen, what's gonna go down. I have love for all parties involved. You know what I mean? Everybody who is stepping forward and trying to make something happen when it comes to this whole carnival scene, carnival culture, all of that. So ultimately, the split had to have been made and must be made from business decisions, and business decisions being the number one factor. So, business owners are going to do what's best for them and what they feel is best for them and their business. At the end of the day, the patron, the people that come out and support, I mean, I think they're still going to get great products. I think it's still going to be awesome entertainment. I think it's still going to be dope all around. So with regards to its impact to the patrons, I feel like, it's going to be very small on the patron side, but behind the scenes, people that's involved, obviously that's where you get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Like, I think when things like this happen, the patron actually gets more choice, more options. And
correct, because now there's more competition between everything. So, there's going to be more pressure to give the best product possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I that probably should give us the best options to choose from. But you also mentioned, quote, my dream is a carnival in Bermuda where the biggest headliner and main attraction is a Bermudian artist performing a 30-plus minute set of original music. Full band and backup dancers on stage in front of thousands, Bermudians and foreigners singing every word for word, unquote. What do we need to make this a reality, though? And I know you're doing some work, but what do we as a country need to do? Like, what can we do to support this narrative? Because I think everybody, I mean, that tweet got like so many retweets and likes, but it's one thing to go on Twitter, like and retweet. It's another thing to actually do the work. What do we need to do?
We need to look within. I mean, honestly, we need to look at ourselves, and we need to say, how can we, if we love what we see, and if we love being a part of, this thing that, causes so much buzz, how do we now bring us, meaning Bermudians, into the fold? When you look at carnivals all over the world, when you look at the reasons why people go to Trinidad, why they go to Barbados, why do they go to Grenada, St. Lucia, all those different places, St. Vincent, why do they go to these carnivals? It's because of a few key things. It's the culture being number one, and the culture is broken down by what you hear in the music. It's broken down by the foods that you get. It's broken down by the fashion. And when you look at what we do here in Bermuda, we import everything for carnival just like we import everything for everything else. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would we have anything to offer to that person that is in New York that wants to go to a carnival over Trinidad or over Barbados or over anywhere else? We need to start looking within and start giving some authentic experiences, and that's what's going to change everything for us. That's my belief, that's my opinion, and that's my dream. That's what I feel like we need to do.
I support that dream, bro.
Me too.
No, but my whole narrative is the solutions are within us. Like I don't think we as confident as we think we are as a culture, I don't think we are. And I want people to understand that
we're not.
We can be, we should be, and everything we go outside looking for is within us. This doesn't mean disregard. If you carefully reread what Rossi said, it's not saying disregard. We can include others. Right. We want 100%. Others saying word for word 100%. What we're doing too. We're just saying, let us be on that same level with others.
Correct. And I think we lack some consistency and follow through, and we come with great ideas, and then all of a sudden they fizzle out.
Well, we don't have the proper systems in place either, right? And I think that's a big challenge just across the board is that we don't really have the systems in place to help us to go from this step to that step to that step to that step to be able to say, okay, now we are on this big stage. The first thing is acceptance that we don't know it all. In Bermuda, if it's certain things that we want to get into certain arenas and certain spaces, we have to come in and understand that, hey, we're new to this field, we're new to everything, and we don't know it all. Like I would love to see us being able to have a whole line of Bermudian costume designers as an example. You know what I mean?
Right.
But where do we learn how to make costumes? We got to learn from the people that really do it, and we got to put some programs in place where it's like maybe some apprenticeships or something like that, so that when these costume designers come down to do costumes for Carnival for this year, you know, we've got a young set of talent that's watching, that's learning, that's, you know, saying that in 2 to 3 years time, I'm going to be able to make something that looks like this or better.
You know what Rusty G just explained though? Is what a lot of people don't understand about entrepreneurship. People think you have a great idea and you have a lot of friends or following on social media, so you could just start something and you're going to be successful. No, it's about systems, structures, processes. There's more to it than a great idea. And I think you literally just broke it down in layman terms for people who don't get it.
And don't get it at all.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that, you know, we have this thing where we're really hard on ourselves, right? And we have this expected pressure that, okay, so using the costume designer as an example again, you know, if the costume designer that is local makes something and it doesn't stand up to the Trinidad costume, it's like, okay, well, that design was trash, and we can't use that. We can, and it's like, no, we have to understand that, look, everybody's got to start somewhere. And you can't, it's not necessarily fair to compare what somebody's made in the first year to, you know, 50, 60 something years of history of doing something like that. You know what I mean? So we have to be more realistic with where we are, starting point, and how we get to where we want to be.
Correct.
And in talking about that, Rusty, in regards to starting and getting where we need to be, how important do you believe Bermuda's entertainment scene is for tourism? And what can we do to enhance it?
I mean, that's a tough question. Honestly, we number one is we need more people involved in it. Like, just point blank, period. We do not have enough people involved in the entertainment scene. And, you know, contrary to popular belief, where, you know, you might speak to some DJs or some entertainers say like, oh, everybody's trying to do this. Everybody's got a laptop. Everybody's a this. And it's like, yes, we may have a lot of people that are in it in that entry level position, but we don't have a lot of what I would consider to be, you know, top tier professional entertainers that really want to do this. You get what I mean? So in order for us to really draw that level of attraction, we need more people doing it, because, you know, one person can't be everywhere all the time. 3 people can't be everywhere all the time. So we definitely need a lot more people that are looking at this industry and saying, I want to be a part of it. I want to be involved, and I want to do that at a high level.
Well, you're starting things off at a high level, especially with your last year's release of Full Stop with Fire Vein. What can we expect from you from this year? Like, spill the beans, tell us the secrets.
It's gotta be a hit.
I know, Rusty. It's something in the tank.
First and foremost, Sherry, we dropped Full Stop in May. So you're rushing me to give you something early.
Yes.
but yes, no, I do have a song that is going to be releasing on April 1st. I can tell you that. The song is with Mr. Photogenic. You know, Mr. Photogenic, the comedian himself. I call him the celebrity. He's been doing amazing work on his social media. You know, his Instagram has been popping. You know, anybody who doesn't know Mr. Photogenic, well, where are you living if you're Bermudian and you don't know Mr. Photogenic and all his funny videos? So we have a song dropping on the 1st of April, and the song is called Bumping. So you can look forward to seeing that dropping very soon.
I'm excited already.
Why am I laughing? I know it's not him doing comedy, but it's like when he was on in January, I think, and just the energy, the guy's energy, even when he's not like trying to make you laugh, is just, you know, I'm big on energy. It's just, I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, Rusty, can I get like a sneak peek? Like, we're boys, like just a little WhatsApp.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because man, yeah,
you know me too, Rusty.
I can get you that, no problem.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But no, I'm looking forward to it, and I think, and I'm not trying to sell anything here, folks, but Bermuda is having this big event we were talking about this morning, and we have a big song dropping on April 1st. Man, that I better hear it at this event. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and as Jamal said, there are some major. What are some major events we can expect to see Rusty G at this year locally and abroad.
Well, you know, it's still in. I believe it may not be 100% confirmed, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be involved in the entertainment at the track meet that you guys are talking about in question, right? So you will see me at the USATF. That's gonna be, what is that, the 9th, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Big shout out to my Lotus crew. So we started a brunch series called Lotus back in November, and we've done a few since then. And we've got another one coming up at the Pickled Onion this Sunday. Totally sold out. We sold that out in half an hour. So big shout out to everybody who was online getting tickets for that, like that. It was crazy. So we got more of those brunches. Another one scheduled for Mother's Day. So you guys, the Daily Hour guys, are getting the early scoop because we ain't putting none of that information out. So yeah. So the next one for that is going to be on Mother's Day. A lot of people have been asking me. I haven't put it out. I haven't made any official announcement yet, but Flag Invasion will be happening and will be returning this year. So that's one of my signature events that I do every year before the pandemic. I haven't done it for 2 years. It is coming back this year, you know, barring anything changes between now and then. But yes, Flag Invasion will be back on the 21st of May. I am scheduled to be in the Bahamas in August. I think I'm supposed to be in LA in July. It's a lot going on. A lot happening. Carnival is looking like you should see me at about 10 or 11 events for that weekend between Friday and Monday. So yeah, shout outs to all the promoters, everybody who's getting everything geared up and ready, man. It's this the year. We're back.
Well,
if you have any questions for Rusty, please send them through comments or questions. He'll answer them. Go ahead, Sherry.
No, I was just going to say, you know, I appreciate Rusty. We worked together in previous years, and to see where he was then, and I tell the story to where he is now, and leave. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, you know, I remember when he was leaving his 9 to 5 and he said, you know, this is what I'm going to do. And for people to see that and understand that this man had a plan. And if he hasn't hit every part of that plan and exceeded it, please take from him what you see and understand, like you said before, Jamal, is just not, he had an idea and you know, is now where he is. He took a plan and he has worked it for years, and I'm just so proud.
Yeah, it's
thank you, Sherry. Thank you.
There's systems he spoke about, but Shanna Smith, she says, I'm just excited for all these events. Nobody should be complaining it's nothing to do. And I think, I mean, honestly, I didn't know that the Bermuda Tourism Authority would be making that announcement yesterday, but it ties right in because, you know, you're on Twitter, Rusty, you see it. People, you know, tourism this, tourism that, nothing to do in Bermuda. And I've lived outside of Bermuda pretty much half of my life. Sherry has lived out of Bermuda majority of her life, I'm going to say at this point. I think wherever you live, you can say like there's not much to do, like, unless you're in New York or Vegas, right? Because to you, it's normal, right? You're looking for, but man, I've got people that will go to Bermuda tomorrow and be like happier than a pig in mud. You know what I'm saying? Like just crazy happy. But speaking of Twitter and the complaints that we see, and this just came to mind. Like, this wasn't a planned question, but there was a brother who's been on this show recently, who not recently, but since we started, he was speaking about Bermudian DJs a couple weeks ago in reference to and correct me if I'm wrong. He basically said, you know, Rusty G is one day any real DJ is doing this, that, and the other. And it brought to the question, and you even put a question out about, you know, how do you determine what a good DJ is and about playing to a crowd and so on. What are you, I mean, you don't come across as a comparative guy. You come across very collaborative, like want to work with people, want to rise. But one thing I took from the back and forth in those tweets, right, was that there are people who DJ for hobbies and side jobs, and there are people who actually, this is a career for them. This is something that I'm gonna go beyond. Like, and when I looked at DJs outside of Bermuda that I grew up with in radio, a lot of them they weren't just doing like DJing parties and stuff. They were doing what Rusty G has actually moved into. They became producers. They began learning instruments. Music to them wasn't just about playing it. It was about learning it, understanding it, making it. And so when you see comments like that, what is your takeaway of that? Do you feel like it's unfair to judge all DJs on the same level?
Oh, 100%. And I think that's where it gets kind of twisted. You know what I mean? It's because it's like, you know, there's no school, there's no paperwork, there's no university that you go to that you finish and you say, okay, I can put the title DJ behind my name, just like how you become a doctor, right? It's not the same thing. So, you know, there's really no I guess official credential as to what makes you a DJ. So with that being said, to compare everybody who uses the title DJ the same doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? Everybody's at different stages, at different levels, and you know, there's who's to say, like I said in the tweet, what really makes a good DJ or a bad DJ? You know, as long as the people are happy in that space, really and truly, that's all that matters. Like if you saw a lot of the responses, and most of the responses that came back, funny enough, were not even from Bermudians. It was from a lot of people from all over the place. And most of the people were saying the same thing. I think the number one thing that makes or breaks a good DJ is reading the room and knowing, you know, reading the room, reading your audience, and knowing what to give the people that are there at that time. You know what I mean? And so that has nothing to do with scratching or knowing music theory or any of these other technical skills. Is really just knowing how to read a room. So you know what I mean? And that's just one of the many different skill sets that makes what a DJ is. So it's interesting to see, you know, all the critiquing and you know what I mean? Like I think it's unnecessary at the end of the day. If you ask me, I think find the topic amusing. But
I think Sherry can relate. But Rusty, you make a good point, because when I first left Bermuda, I was in Huntsville, Alabama. And, you know, in Bermuda, you know, it was all mostly reggae back then, and, you know, Bounty versus Beanie, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm going 2001, Dirty South, as they called it. And all of a sudden, Lil Jon's the hottest thing in the club, and people pushing each other across the club. And I'm only 5'6" and 3/4, right? Yeah, 3/4, yeah. And I'm like, I'm too small for this. You know, I shouldn't be all like, wow. But they knew the crowd. They knew what this crowd wanted. You couldn't take Playboy and put them in that same club and get the same response. Now, Playboy was international now. Like they were everywhere. But you couldn't play them in one of those same clubs and get the response. So I think that there's levels to it.
And 100%.
Well, let me tell you, the very first time I heard Rusty G, and again, he knows the story, went to a party at the Fairmont Southampton Princess, and we just heard that this was a fraternity party, and it was DJ Rusty G. And when I tell you, people were jumping, I was holding on to a pillar, the chandelier was shaking, all types. I was like,
I think we almost broke the floor that day.
Who is this kid? I kept saying to one of my friends, I was like, who is this guy? And I'm trying to look and see. And all I saw was some glasses and just this, and he was sweating. And I was like, I've never heard of this guy before. I don't think, and Rusty, correct me if I'm wrong, if they've ever had a party up there ever since. But Jamal, I was holding onto a pillar. I thought I was going to go through the floor. So when I talk about reading a room and knowing your audience and knowing a plan, if you want to be a DJ, go see Rusty G. He's going to give you the blueprint.
Rusty, just real quickly before you head out, where can people get this feeling Cher is talking about? What's tell them the next event, and just tell them how they can reach you to be a part of your list, because I know you have lists where people only who are subscribed get invites and so on, if I'm not correct. So just give them
So I have mentioned the brunches. So Lotus Brunch Bermuda on Instagram is where you want to go if you want to attend those brunch experiences. In the bio, there's a link to join the mailing list. That's the only way we send out emails and we say that this is what we're doing. This is how you get tickets. We don't list those events regularly online like that. So if you want to be a part of that, that's Lotus Brunch Bermuda. I do pop-up fests as well every now and again, and that's literally, you just got to be hooked in on the social media, because those could happen any which day. You know what I mean? Those literally are the definition of pop-up. They normally happen in the week. It might be a Wednesday where we say Saturday, this is what we're doing. As for every Friday, I am now at Pickled Onion officially. So they locked me in on a contract to be there every Friday. So if I am in Bermuda and if I am able to play, you will see me at Pickled Onion on a Friday. I mean that place has been amazing since I've started there as well, man. The amount of love and support and people's coming through and just enjoying the vibes. You got to get there early, book a reservation, a table probably like around 8:00. If you want to actually get there and enjoy the vibes, then you definitely got to get there early for sure. But those are kind of like a few of the staples. And then, of course, I'll be posting all the other flyers of all the other events and different things as they come up.
All right, folks, a lot of stuff going on. The man never stops. And hey, I'm looking forward to April 1st. New joint dropping, Mr. Photo.
No, definitely. And you gotta have both of us back on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
So that we can talk about how this song came about, because we got two different opinions in terms of what his view and my view are not the same view on how this song came about. So yeah.
Shanta, send them an email right now. Let's get these brothers on the closest to April 1st after they release it. Let's do it. Rusty G, folks, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like if you appreciate it, the brother. We'll be checking you out. We'll be hitting you up soon. See you soon.
As always, thank you so much for having me, guys.
No,
all right.
No problem. No
great
problem.
Weekend.
You as well. Rusty G, my friends. Bermuda's premier DJ out there on the scene. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share these kind of conversations. There's a lot going on in Bermuda. Sherry, when you next in Bermuda?
I don't know, Jamal. This last trip wasn't planned, so it would have been this summer. And so I would have been at one of Rusty's events. So
I just want to make sure you're not there when I go. Let's go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Wrap it up, folks. She thought I was going to say something nice.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, welcome back, and thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Lindo's. Thanks again to Rusty G for trusting our platform. Make sure you give him a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you also go follow him on social media. Sign up to make sure you don't miss out on his events, because according to Sherry, they crazy, folks.
Crazy. It's so great.
All right. So we're going to do a giveaway. We have a giveaway from last weekend's trivia. If you didn't fill it out, make sure every weekend you go on our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, or the Twitter, whatever, wherever we are, make sure you follow us. You never know when it's an opportunity for a giveaway. Renee Sherilyn Simmons, never. Make sure you contact us for your $25 gift card for last week's win. So email engage@thedailyhour.com so you can collect your. Today we're going to give away a $50 gift card for One Communications. So stick with us. I'll let you know who wins from last week. But it's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry, I am ready. Bring it. What you got?
You are. Okay. 3 questions. Who was named the first female Secretary of State in 1997? You should know this.
I should know this about the United States?
Yeah, you should.
All I know about Secretary of State was Hillary Clinton because of the emails.
Madeleine Albright.
I don't know who that is.
You don't?
Nope.
I do. When did Major League Soccer
1995
kick off in the U.S.?
It was in the 90s, so it was either 95 or the World Cup was 94, so 96.
Good job. Okay. And in the movie Forrest Gump, released in 1994, Forrest compares life to what?
A box of chocolates or something like that?
A box of chocolates. You got to say it like that.
I ain't never seen that show.
Really? It's just a commercial.
Yeah,
it's a movie, first of all.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
2
box
out
of
of
12.
3.
2
Yeah.
out of 3? All right. I'm on for him. I'm on for him. What's your thoughts on today's show before we do the giveaway?
Oh, it was great. Love Larry's input on the USATF coming to Bermuda and what it means for Bermuda, and the stage that we need to show up and be able to form and show what Bermuda is about. So I think it's a great thing for Bermuda.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Rusty G, I've always been a fan. I will continue to support him. Again, if you want to know what a career to be a DJ is like, follow Rusty G.
Yeah, it's risky. It's risky, and no risk, no reward. They say. I'll just say again, Bermuda, the success of the USATF depends on you. We can easily be critics and say that Bermuda tourism sucks and Bermuda's bad and this and that, but we can easily change our own fortunes.
Yeah.
It's up to you. As far as Rusty G, honestly, I'm just so proud of him. Like the history. We've spoken about it on the show when he's come before about when he first bought his CD around to the radio station, Teo and I, and we were playing his mixes. To now, to see how he's grown into an entrepreneur, he's made a career out of this. Left his job. Yeah. It's impressive, and I'm happy that he's into making people happy and working his way into a space where people are calling him and relying on him. So props to him. And folks, if you're looking for a good time, if you want to hold on to a chandelier, get to a Rusty G event.
Or a duck from one.
Yeah. Let's do so last week's question, folks. Last week's question was, which platform did the majority of people tune in live to watch the show? And surprisingly, some of you all were saying be Facebook. No, it's not Facebook. It's literally not Facebook. And I don't know if some of you were joking, but it is YouTube. Majority of the people live viewers watch on our YouTube channel. And so last week, well, it's interesting because when they did the draw, it was funny who came out. The person who had the funny comment was Ebony Souza, and she had written it's C, which was YouTube, but she sorry. She said C, which was YouTube, but then she went on to say, and if you haven't switched over to YouTube yet, don't make them ask again.
I did see that.
Yeah, but Ebony Souza's going to be the winner. She's the winner of this week's $50 voucher from One Communications. Make sure you check out tomorrow's question. It could be you next. Ebony Souza, like Renee Simmons, make sure you send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com to claim your winnings. Sherry, you've got some daily inspiration to send us off to the weekend?
I do, and I want to say good morning to Mama Patterson, who received her Daily Hour mug. So she is excited.
All right, Mama P, welcome to the family officially.
The quote, the inspiration for today is, every strike brings me closer to the next home run. And that's by Babe Ruth.
I'm glad you said it is from, because I'm like, I struck out a few times in Little League and I never got a home run. I'm just saying. I mean, it sounds good, but my strikeouts never led to a home run. But I was small at the time.
They bring you closer.
Oh, closer. Well, I got so close, I never made it though. But I get the point. I'm not trying to take away from it. Look, it's time to roll out. Thanks again to our partners, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you on Monday. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and great weekend. We are out. Peace.